Alrighty. um, I I did not really want to say this on YouTube, but I think it just needs to be publicly known. Um, with the psychic abilities that I have and the knowledge on architecture, subliminal architecture of the community, and subliminal manipulation and control of the community that I can see, that I can monitor. I just need to say that I need to put this out there. So while I was working for Dennis Gordon, besides for the fact that he has a son who could manufacture serialist rifles, and he has another son in New Jersey who is going out to be a police officer, and he has a daughter who charges people $7,000 for like a 2 to 4 week class per person to learn how to paint eyebrows on women. Yeah, so she could fill up a whole entire classroom and make like 140 grand in a month, with one other person, another family member. Well, Dennis Gordon, if you guys know anything about psychic architecture and subliminal architecture of the mind, master hypnotists have this, master magicians have this, law enforcement know about this, but they don't necessarily understand it, I don't believe. But people who are gurus or power figures know about this. Now, Dennis Gordon was a stockbroker out in New York, so he knows manipulation tactics. He knows how this shit works. He also owned a family call service out in California. So this makes him a professional with manipulation tactics, sales tactics, um, persuasion, a master persuader. Okay. Now Dennis Gordon, his line of business right now is an HVAC technician. What does an HVAC technician do? He has the ability to go inside people's basements and garages, and if he's on a network, like I just explained how I explained a little bit on how it works empathically, how they were using it against me when I was in a household with a substance abuser, with my old landlord that I got out of, how they were using it against me to put his substance abuse and simulate it in me, even though they couldn't get me to abuse substances because I wish to remain sober and promote my life. Well, his daughter's tutor, who comes over once a week, is the original layer of the land. Her ancestors and family members were the original ones who came over, and they were paid to come out and map the land, like literally make maps before anyone lived out here. Now, that was like a couple generations ago, but now it's distilled in her bloodline and in her mental map passed from family to family to family. And if you know how these machines work, or how these synthetic devices work, you could tune up your psychic abilities and you could deep read. And when you deep read in your mind, you could go down and now you have a subliminal map of everything. Why? Because that mind was the first person in town, and every person that came in town now got all the information from that mind. That mind was the focal lore for everyone who came here, and then it all cascaded out from the information possessed from that mind. So technically, they were the original algorithm setters because they were the original settlers in this land. And this lady that comes over and tutors his daughter, her name is Polly something. She lives between the pass of Bangor and Stroudsburg, the pass that goes over the mountains. Her family was gifted 40 acres or something like that as the layer of the land because her ancestors came out and did that, and she still lives over there. She's a very nice lady. She has a PhD. I've met her. Dennis sent me over there to install a generator, and then he told her that, hey, I sent Chris over there and charged you to put a generator in, but I'm not going to install it. So yeah, so he did that. But so now this lady is visiting his household once a week. Now Dennis is also visiting multiple households throughout the community remapping things as well, or has the ability to. I do not know if he can. I don't want to slander him. I don't want to say he's doing this, but he has the ability to. And yes, no one's saying that Dennis is a mobster, but look at how he's set up. And then now, on top of this, we all know how sex magic works if you're a magician. You could instantly make anyone fall in love with you. You can instantly make anyone get in bed with you if you are a magician and you understand sex magic. I mean, if you've seen how the lady in there's a Netflix special on it. Sex magic is so powerful that a magician convinced a girl to drive off with $3 million from a casino in a what's called a armored truck because of sex magic. Now, Dennis Gordon is an old stockbroker. He comes to this town. He finds a sweet old gal who is the daughter of a pastor who also has a network of the town. Why? Because everyone goes to church and he oversees everyone in town and he cascades out his information. You know, he gives them guidance. And if you're giving someone guidance, everyone looks up to you. You're a leader. And if you're a leader, you're an architect because you're architecting their minds in a persuasive way. Okay? Now, Dennis meets this girl, Stephanie. Okay? I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying this is possible. This is just a story right now. Okay? This is just a story. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying we have to look into this just in case. Okay? Now, her father just retired as a pastor. So now he has the original layer of the land. He has the daughter of a pastor, and the establishment that he lives at, she lives in an old farmhouse just outside of town, and everything is set up for him to have his little business. Okay? So I'm just saying that these are things that should probably be looked into, you know. And now if he has a synthetic network that he's still connected to due to working on Wall Street, because you know all those Wall Street brokers, if you know about the 2008 web, if you ever heard about the spider web, it's how they can map the emotional read and the emotional standpoints of everyone in America, and they can better predict stocks. This is a known fact. It's published. Okay? This man is on the same system. He knows all these techniques. Did this man move in this town and start doing that? I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he did. But I'm not saying he didn't either. I'm saying that I've seen this shit. And ever since I worked for that man and that company, my life has been a living hell. A living freaking hell. So, I would like the investigators to maybe, some psychic investigators that are from out of state, possibly investigate, because you know why? If he does have rain like this, or if it is possible that if anyone, not saying he did, I'm not saying he did, but if anyone had rain like this, then that means that even if you go to communicate to someone, he has the ability, because they're on a synthetic network, to subliminally make them disbelieve you. That is why every single time I go to try to tell someone, hey, this is happening to me, and no one believes me. Because he has a map of the land, or someone does. Someone, maybe not Dennis, but someone does. And I can't get out of it. Now I'm stuck here. He has me stuck on probation. I get death threats telepathically every fucking day. I can't get to work. I'm going to have to either take a 2-hour bus ride to go 10 miles to work, or ride in 20-degree weather with my snowboard gear on, which I choose to do today. I'm going to ride in 20-degree weather in my snowboard gear and go to work just so I can go to work, just so I can make money, so I could pay a cell phone bill and pay rent to live, and then go back to work. And now, yeah, like all this stuff is happening and no one's doing anything about it. Man, I mean, This stuff is real. This is real. If you talk to anyone who knows anything about synthetic architecturing on a psychic level, on a mental level, they will tell you that this stuff is real. This is very, very real. Very real. And I just wanted to put that information out there, just to put it out there. But as at this point, it is just a story. It's a fictitious story unless someone can prove it. Now, I see it happening, but I have no way to prove it because every time I talk to someone, they get put in a state of mind that doesn't believe me. They get agitated. They yell at me. They get possessed. They kick me out of my household like my mother did. Every single time I mentioned Dennis or a synthetic machine, my mom's face went blank and I got kicked out of the house. So, just saying.